scientist for America or the goddamn KGB or some shit. But nah, it's the hood scientist. And if you tapping in, don't click off. Cause if anybody, I'm not saying you might not hop on YouTube to learn shit. You might hop on here for music and entertainment. I mean, we could chill. If you smoke, we could roll up. If you drink, we could drink sometimes. But really, I want y'all to take care of yourself, eat more fruits. Really, I say that just to cleanse your body back out and restore the minerals that match your DNA. And anybody that's call themselves human or so-called here should be on that diet because that's a universal diet when you're tapping into these energies. So I'm gonna do this shit one more time because I feel like I think I was drinking and I was just bored. And I had this book in the car. But the clouds, a lot of people are saying this shit is red iron oxide dust and it's from these ETs. Whoop de whoop. The only time they use that is when they're popping up in a triangular delta force looking thing. And it's gonna look completely like how they say Mars look. But really it's like Ant Aries, which is not Mars. That's what you need to pay attention to. Ant Aries. I feel like someone on my page said it was an asteroid, but it's something to do with Scorpio. But Scorpio is just a sign of fire, one of them. So say if you had three, that's a trinity right there, representing the whole energy. Really, all the elements combined represent the whole energy, 1 through 9. Even these fucking metals. It's just a lot of them can be used to manipulate it. That's why they put it in that cartoon with Couture. It's the Avatar cartoon. They made the boy and the girl one. It's the girl one. And that's the thing. She was water bending, he was air bending, really all the elements. And that's what happens when you begin to cleanse your body. Because if you peep game, the Avatar, he didn't eat no meat. He just ate like soups and plant-based shit and fruits. He didn't eat no meat. And he was tapping into uh, those energies. So it's like you have your masters in these different realms that you already know, and then you have yourself, your own. So it's like that's why they always attack the memory, because if you start seeing yourself doing some whole other stuff in real life, just in a whole different dimension, and then you wake up here and start realizing this shit is just like the so-called dream you just left, and you could do the same shit here. They're scared of that, especially if you start seeing your heritage and all the different times you've been here. Because first off, let me say this. People have deja vu moments, but if you use your common sense, that is a memory. It just went away. It just happened differently because you was aware of it. No matter what time it happened, you was aware of it. Maybe right then when you realized it, or subconsciously. And that's what they've really been attacking, the subconscious, because that attacks the soul. Okay? It's the whole point of Unum Sanctum, which ties to Rome, ties to U.S. and citizenship, and whoop-de-whoop all over the globe. Take your names back, because especially if you ain't been doing shit at all, even me, I feel like somebody's been fucking with my shit, you know? I know other people's getting their shit fucked with without even knowing. especially for my niggas who've been locked up. I'm tired of this shit. Like, they're a de facto corporation, first of all. Second, they're running a scam on everybody to the point it's actually a game like The Sims. And you gotta remember, The Sims always deal with memory when it came to a chip. And my theory is this is a brain simulation. If you was having an experience here, yeah, you having a fucking experience here. But I don't think you chose to have this experience here. Which brings back to where people call this shit hell. I don't, which was at first heaven on earth. But really, that comes back to your mind state. Because a lot of shit could be going on, and I peeped that shit. The art of detachment is real. Reason if you want to listen, listen. If not, it's on you. I mean, you have to see it for yourself. Because anybody else I listened to that was on that stuff, and I wasn't. It was just the right people I needed to hear. When I saw it for myself, I had to give them their props. Because when I saw it for myself, it wasn't a conspiracy no more. Reason, I don't know how I found this, but I used to ask, that's how I developed knowing how the subconscious works. You just have to know that you went somewhere, and you have to know when you ask yourself, this is what you want. Don't get discouraged because you can't remember. You can't remember because you're not eating right. That was the whole purpose of fasting, to connect to the divine, connect to God. It's just fasting isn't fasting if you really think about it. The food that you're fasting from isn't supposed to be consumed by you, especially if you melanated. Really, that's for anybody, even for people who have animal DNA. I could go talk about some whole other shit, but niggas going, I don't know. Not gonna get into that. What we're going to get into is the clouds. Because first is a epoxy dust. Okay? It builds up, it could be white or black. Now niggas started talking about it's white. I think in liquid form is white. But dried up is black. So it could look like pollen, but it's really black. Okay? If you ever been in a warehouse and it was dusty, or a trailer, it's the same type of shit. And you're not supposed to breathe that in. Like, if, let's say if your job wasn't giving you goggles, safety glasses, and all of the extra stuff, like my job, you could sue them on or report them to OSHA, and they would pay you, type shit. But me, I'm not a grimy ass person. But if I was, I could just come up off a back like that and just leave these niggas alone. You feel me? But sometimes I think about it, but then I just leave it alone. Like, my little job ain't the best job dealing financially, but it's straight and it's peace and it's helping me, you know. So I don't work out and I need to work out. That's the only way I'll be big at this point. I don't want to be at the weight over 144. That deals with a whole different density change in your body. And the density change deals with the gravitational pull on you. Like, y'all niggas thinking y'all can't fly. Okay. Wait till the energy get back to it normally. But at the same time, you need to be able to be consuming that ahead of time before it hits you, because it's going to make you feel like shit and make you feel like you're sick. And then you might fuck around and take the jab. Because, like, radiation symptoms, it's the same symptoms These symptoms I'm about to tell you with the clouds and the fog, same symptoms. An octopus will get the octopus will get the same symptoms if it's too much of, like, say if an octopus got trapped in his own ink, it would get the same symptoms of COVID. Like, the shit really get deep, but everything comes back to the same shit. They're manipulating the solar flares, just like the Sub-Zero technology. It's only called Sub-Zero, dealing with the cold, is because it eliminates the charge in the atoms in the air. And when it does that, and you breathing in a lot and you're not eating right, it gets trapped in your mucus lining. And when it gets trapped in your mucus lining, then now you feel like you have COVID. But what creates mucus? That is from the shit that you're consuming. A lot of meat creates mucus and also creates all the diseases. All your STDs come from animals. No offense to other races that's mixed with animals, but that's how it all started. Yeah. And then it started from shit like this. Why? Because while that was happening, they were cloaking up the scars, Zeta Grays and them, because Zeta Grays did that shit to Mars. Okay? They did it with the same shit, bro. Fogged up the whole thing when Zeta Grays did. And then whoever the fuck was on Mars came here also. You got all different beings, different galaxies, planets here. Some people decided to do that, and a lot of people did it. You feel me? But that's just what it is. And me saying that, I'm about to sound crazy as hell, but I don't care, because at this point, I can see how it is that ain't no fucking experience, nigga. This is a science experiment. They taking surveys. The fuck? Let's say if you died and you was unconscious for months, years, even weeks, maybe a couple of days. You know how some people be unconscious for years and they, just because they might have the money, they could stay in the hospital and keep them up, type shit. Yeah, like, just imagine, how do you think you will wake back up? A lot of movies show you a lot of stuff, especially when people come talking to you and you might think they're dead and then they wake up and then they be showing how to be in the other state. Wasn't nobody just making that up. That's really how it be. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but it seems more of a death experience. It's just coming aware of it. It's a rebirth that brings light, that creates energy, that rebuilds cells in your body, that truth. Truth repairs the body, you feel me? Love repairs the body. I'm not saying that your solar plexus repairs your body, your sacrum repairs the body, your root chakra repairs the body. It's just when it's not in its energy to be operating the way it's supposed to, it's just like your car. If your radiator or transmission, engine, anything off balance is gonna fuck with you. Mentally, physically, spiritually. It's the same thing with you, period. And then a lot of people's not taught that nature is really part of your nervous system. Because you have to have outputs, inputs and outputs, just like how they say everything goes through one ear and out the other. One came in, one went out. That's just how everything works when you even dealing with energy and cycles to generate it. You have to have your inputs and outputs, and a lot of people is not taught that nature is really an output to your input. So really, it's your nervous system. So when it becomes to the brain and your cerebral to start moving, yeah, you tapping in and it seems weird, but it's really a normal thing. You coming back to your senses, all of them. When you start locking the more of the right of the brain or your junk DNA, start cleaning up the junk out of your DNA is what they should have said. Clean out the junk out of your DNA so they can start operating the way it's supposed to. Eat what you're supposed to eat, not what you think you're supposed to eat. It's all mine. It sounds crazy. Like people gonna be stressing about food and shit, and that's why. You've been eating your whole life. Try it out. Shit, they tell you can't go out without a fucking week. That's a lie. Yeah, I was asleep a whole week damn near and didn't eat shit because I heard the jail food was bad the first time I got locked up. I didn't eat shit. They try to give me all types of shots. They had me in the cell butt ass naked because I said I don't want to be here. Depressed as hell, so I don't know what the fuck they had going on. It was either some weird shit or they just thought I was gonna commit suicide. Cause I didn't tell the cop shit. It was like only person number I knew was my baby mama number, and we wasn't talking. My baby mom was the only one that could contact my peoples. But these niggas threw me in the cell butt ass naked my first time, bro, with a blanket and a little quilt thing for the bed. And then like after like 3, 4 days, I talked to her. I was like, yo, ain't nothing wrong with me, bro. I'm not about to take no shots. But if you could just keep me in this cell by myself, I said, please, just keep me in this cell by myself. Cause I already like, I guess that was my little first little detox in that joint. And they had a little virtual thing. I had to talk to the judge, whatever. And it was, I guess, other people that was in the other blocks went past me on like they was on some faking shit. But the way I felt my energy react, it wasn't cool. So I was like, yo, I don't want to get into no trouble. I really shouldn't be here. I just want to hurry up, get to my court date, get this shit over with, go the fuck home if I can. And she let me chill in the little cell box. It was gonna change me. Then she gave me a uniform and shit. I was like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with me, but y'all could keep me here. But ain't nothing wrong with me, and I'm not taking no shots at all. And she sincerely felt me. Like every time I got locked up, it was some bullshit. Nigga, I don't do shit to get in trouble. And if I did some shit that I could get in trouble for, nigga, I ain't about to get in trouble for this shit. Fuck out of here. That's how I be knowing there's some whole other shit going on sometimes, cause and I be trying to tell people I can't do certain things at this time, even though I should be able to. Cause I know someone younger than me ain't done shit with their credit history. Got approved for loans, more shit. I never did nothing on my shit, but my credit score up like a 7. But the history, boom. So I'm like, how the hell you do that? So a lot of things, I know a lot of things now because I left this, not saying I left the spiritual shit alone, but I kind of did and started doing the physical works because I knew that was tied to the mental and the spiritual. It's like an A plus B equals C type thing. It's a whole trinity. There's different trinities in different ways, and that's one of them, my eyes. So like when it's tied to this realm, that ties to the physical work. Because at the end of the day, this is a brain simulation, so it's still tied to the psyche. So that being said, let's get these cloud vaccines. Shit, I ain't gonna say nothing about HIV. It's just if I pull up another page and I bring that up, I really want you to look up both of them. Because if you look up both of them, you will see what I mean. It's the same definition, just two different words. And that's a lot of things in medical terms. Like how I'm big on Delta. I'm only saying, talking about me with Delta, is because I don't see people on YouTube talking about Delta. So that's like my lane right now. And I'm gonna keep repeating it till I see that enough people that seen it. Once I see enough people done seen it, I mean, I'm cool with one person seeing it and actually listening and actually catching on to what I'm saying. Because I know a lot of my videos was ass. I try to remake a lot of videos that's posted from me trying to record the first time. And I might sit in my car and try it the second time, and it might not still record, and I'll do it again. And it come out like that. Still ass, but you feel me? Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, there's some physical shit, like taking notes from the shit that I already know. But y'all need to know, because a lot of y'all figuring out is nanoparticles in clothes, foods, the air. But, I mean, a lot of people even say the clouds was sub-zero technology. Don't even know why, but it's sub-zero technology because it eliminates the carbon emission levels and bring it to a zero. When it's higher than the zero, that means the carbon emissions have a charge, which means the atoms out that's in the air have a charge. And if the atoms outside of your body has a charge, then that means the atoms inside of you are trying to charge because that's in the air that you're breathing. Do you feel me? So when they're trying to cloud this all up, there's a lot of radiation that's hitting. There's ionized particles that really have everyone mutating if they know it or not. It's either gaining cells or losing cells. Either way, that's a mutation. So as the sun increases, they're going to cloud even more and it's going to seem even worse. Okay? It's going to seem worse just because the radiation levels is higher. The whole time how they manipulate that shit to work is off the radiation. So when it comes off to Mr. Freeze shit, like I literally tracked the sun and I use this timeline and I say that was tracking the sun. That was just part of my awakening type shit. I'm not trying to talk about myself for clout. I'm just saying this shit's fucking real. So look, so where we at, the clouds, right? It's something like glue. And I've been saying this, and I was so glad I saw some TikTok dude. He was from New York. He was an older guy. He was a white New York guy. He was talking about this shit's like glue. Boom. All right, so if you want to wonder why people's losing hair, boom, that shit. All right, it can even produce in your sweat as a lot of sodium. You feel me? But that could tie back to the foods also, because they're putting more sodium into the meat. It's gonna be more salty, more preservatives, more fake shit, most likely more humans. Because the body, it's just the math ain't mathing, okay? When it comes to humans and animals and the way people eat that shit on a daily basis, the math is not mathing. And then you have your lab food, you don't, like, where these niggas, like, we see them every day. We might see them on TV. You have to treat these people like you in the street, bro. You can't treat these niggas off no shit like that. All it is a recycle of the old shit. But you have to see how it happened. Okay? This radiation with this meat is going to produce a lot of STDs, okay? Which already been happening. Not saying you're going to catch an STD if you're eating that shit, but I highly just suggest slow the fuck down on it. And if you do, try your best getting the best at it. A lot of plant-based shit is not it neither. It has this certain smell that's the same. And then a lot of meat has a certain smell as dog food. And I just be sitting there like, ew. Even if I thought about it, ew. Can't even do it, bruh. Like, it's just bad. It'll make you just go eat fast food because now you don't have to smell or deal with that shit. But that shit even bad too, because most of them, at the most, that's getting like restaurant food, all go to U.S. food, and you can do your research on the U.S. food warehouses. Feel me? I mean, if you want to get some money, great little easy job. You can make like a band a week, 2 bands a week, easily. But other than that, like, even with that, bro, like, working and shit, I'm not saying like I'm rich, man. Shit, I'm not gonna say I'm down either. Not no more. Cause you have to realize there's more magnetism on the planet. There's more magnetism on this plane, yo. And it's being more attracted to you. You know how you say, I'm calling on my energy back? If I made a song, I put it in a different hertz. I'm calling on my energy back. I call that shit the No Diddy, just to get some views. I just, I, I guess I took part in that shit too. You know, take accountability unlocks the truth chakra. If you, it's just the embarrassment, or it could be people not even around you. You could be just thinking it to yourself that you're embarrassed. Or this shit is embarrassing. Or talk out loud just so somebody else hear you. Like, people do that. I've done it before, so I can peep it when other people do it. And I'll be like, oh, you trying to talk to me? Anyway, like, man, that's part of the shadow work. Because that's the only way you're going to unlock whatever power you think you got. It's going to be through that shadow work. You have to be in that scene that you're not used to or comfortable to, but in peace with it. So say if you're not comfortable going outside where everyone's just looking at you randomly, like if you was caring about how other people think, because some people might not understand what you're doing, but a lot of people will actually respect it. And even if the people didn't understand or respect it, like me, around my niggas at one point in my old neighborhood, niggas end up seeing what I was doing. These black helicopters was seeing what I was doing, and I'm putting my middle fingers up at their ass. Like, shit really was getting that real, and I'm just chilling there smoking a blunt. That's why I called a blunt of some real weed. That shit is like star sage. Like, your regular sage, I think that one's more electric. But when it comes to weed, like, say if any of y'all smoke real cannabis, not that TCA stuff, y'all smoke some real cannabis, curl that junk and treat it how you would use some sage. Like, if you put it around your body, certain stuff like that. Especially you spark a blunt in room, energy bag, energy change. You could be, especially in relationships. That's why you can't put gas on fire. But yeah, let's get to these clouds, yo. Alright, so yeah, these clouds is pretty much like the way they explain it, they explained it without explaining it. So that kind of throws it off. But it's some shit called Expoxy. It's EXPOXY for anyone who wants to look it up. Okay. It says, well, what I wrote down is the family of basic components of curd ends products of epoxy resins. So I don't know if you've been in a warehouse or just shit get dusty. That is an example of epoxy resins, but these epoxy resins that's going on is more tied to epoxy, which ties to like glue and paint. Okay. In state of matter. So when it falls, boom. But a lot of people hair is thinning out because of that shit. And I know that just because of certain places. And really that's happening even more because of radiation. Like when I got beamed by a laser, bro, and I saw through a wall. That bitch went through a wall. I saw through a wall. And since then, that's when I've been trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And within that year or the next year, I realized what I saw when I was 15 was a reptilian. Because I used to call it a humanoid with frog legs. And it didn't do nothing to me. And I wasn't scared somehow. I was scared of all types of shit. Especially, I'm from the DMV. I didn't, I was a kid. Even younger, like, certain shit, like, not saying I was scary. But I mean, at the end of the day, niggas ain't trying to deal with nobody with guns, a kid, and you dealt with those gun yet, type shit. So like during that time, nigga, I was a little scary. But when I saw that reptilian, nigga, I wasn't scary. And I only knew it was a reptilian 5 years later when I saw a picture. When I saw a picture that somebody posted on YouTube or something, I knew it wasn't fake. I knew it was real. And that was in Maryland. So like, there's a lot of shit running around in motherfucking Maryland. There's a lot of trees in Maryland. DC, definitely. That's motherfucking wrong. You hear me? That's wrong. Get the fuck out of DC. I mean, if you born in DC, you born really as a national by paperwork, but they still gonna try you as a motherfucking citizen. That be on some whole other shit. Like, take over your name and operate your straw man. Because that's all you doing. They charging you, but really they're supposed to be charging a corporation with a fine, nigga. Not supposed to be locking you up or nothing like that. And I ain't... And then the shit already paid, but you giving them goddamn jurisdiction over. So they just doing what they want. Alright. So look, the clouds is calcium carbonate nanoparticles and graphene oxide gold sheet nanohybrid. Okay? Calcium carbonate and graphene oxide. That is, it's like a hybrid. You know, like weed, you put two strains together, it creates a whole different high. So it creates a whole different frequency, a whole different feeling, a whole different vibe. See, another formula which deals with what a lot of people call the iron oxide, and it don't beat them all the time. It's more tied to like Operation Orange in the military. Then you got some niggas saying this ain't the military, and it is them. And I be sitting there like, how? It's even to the point I was working with a nigga that owned a warehouse, and he might be the nigga that's in the interview. The only reason I say maybe because I done never seen his face on the interview. But when it comes to his voice, even though he was black, I could see it could be him. And I had to mentally battle with this nigga to the point I was like, you know what? I see what's going on. And I came home and I drew the fuck out the Mandela effect. And if anyone watched that shit and understand what I was saying, then you got what it was. Other than that, you be... Even I don't even, like, that's subconscious shit. We're tapped into 7 dimensions on a physical state, and you can go higher if you're vibing that high. So everyone's traveling right now, if you know it or not. You might not be remembering. You might feel weird. You might remember some dreams. You'll know if you out of it, if you learning. Or just getting warnings. Because that really, it just goes off of what you're asking yourself. And we're tied to 7 planes right now. Almost. Really 6. We're tied to 6 planes. But that 6 is tied to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and higher. It's just on you type shit to see what's going on before it happens. All this shit is predicted already. Like I said about deja vu, it already happened. If you had a memory of that thing, it already happened. At a certain point in time, you've been feeling like you've been here before. And it already happened. So, us being here, niggas is talking about us here in a third density. Nigga, we definitely been here already, but it's only dealing with here because that frequency is dealing with that memory. Like this plane really only deals with, I mean, it could deal with 13 and higher, but that deals with emerging. That's the whole point of 13. Different timeline. Because the numbers are expressions. That's why I said the 10 through 12 is the rebirth. Just like January 27th going into February to April is a rebirth. Because that's the 10, 11, 12 if you were counting your months. 3, 6, 9, 12. It says for after 9, you counting it as it's 10, 11, 12. If you count it at 3, 6, 9 rate, then the shit that I'm saying will make sense. Because it goes in with the hedging method. The hedging method is tied to delta management. If you look it up, you can see what it's about. I mean, I could read it, but it's probably best if you do. This is because I'm not really that book smart, but I looked into shit at the same time. So look, so the months is kind of off, like by 3 months, which gives them preparation and evaluation to do these 6 steps to hedging. The 6 steps to hedging. Let's see if I got it right here. Let's see, the 6 steps to hedging is right here. All right. Well, the steps to a successful energy hedging program. That's crazy. Because I didn't make up that. I copied it. Just because I knew they was going to change it up, which a lot of it did. So if I was looking it up, my phone or a different phone or computer, it's not going to pop up the same. But, I did my bibliography. So anyways, the 6 key steps to successful energy hedging programs is identify, analyze, and quantify all risks. Number 2 is determine risk tolerance and develop risk management policy. Number 3 is develop hedging strategies and procedures. Number 4 is implementation. Number 5 is execution of hedging transaction. Number 6 is monitoring, analyzing, and report risk. Just because this shit is 1 through 7 low key, because it said 6, but it's 7. Low key, we're at execution of hedging transaction. We already passed that, but we're still dealing with that. it just takes a little time sometimes. That's why it's a 3 months ahead of things so they could identify and whoop de whoop and repeat, because that's the seventh step, to repeat 1 through 6. It's not it's not the seventh step of moving forward. It's to repeat 1 through 6. So it's still 6 keys to a successful energy hedging program. So the 6 keys is supposed to tie to business, but it's talking about energy, and it's not really talking about the mechanics of the energy. It's talking about how the business manipulates the energy to control the business and control power. So it says it says number 1, identify and analyze and quantify all risks. Number 2, determine risk tolerance and develop risk management policies. Number 3, develop hedging strategies and procedures. Number 4, implementation. Number 5, execution of hedging transactions. Number 6, monitoring, analyzing, and report the risks. That's where we at right now. Going into the 7th, April 27th, going to May, that's when they're going to try to repeat the shit and bring out a new variant, because the variant is the DNA sequence changing into a positive variant, a negative variant, or a neutral, or nothing changes. Why? Because they're surveying what the fuck's going to happen. It's just like that movie Titan. The Zeta Grays, people talk about them. Those are super soldiers. Other than your super soldiers is trained to be like motherfucking Spartans. Other than that, they're super soldiers. They could take out a lot of people by themselves. Just like you, though. Just like you, though. It really just depends on the frequency, on not saying love as the hurt, but love before the hurt. The energy you felt that even made you even think about love. This is more of the energy. It was the energy you felt. You feel me? I'll be back though. I gotta pee real quick. About to end this soon. Yeah, appreciate the 2 likes. Yeah, I'm gonna hop out. Peace to y'all. Actually, I'm gonna say peace to self. Cause like, I could say peace to you, but like when you hear it and read it out loud, you're sending the energy back to me while I'm trying to send it to you. I mean, that's good at the same time. So I'm gonna say peace to you, but at the same time, I'm gonna say peace self. So when you read it, you're saying peace to you. So that's the whole point. But yeah, one love.